Hi everybody, I'm showing you how to make my famous corn chowder. It's perfect weather for it right now. I'm showing you how I peel potatoes. Not everybody knows that, so I thought I'd show you how. Now I'm chopping up the celery. This is 3 ribs. You could use 4 or 2. Depends on if you like a lot of celery or just a little bit. And I'm using the whole stalk here. There's a few leaves on there. I like that sometimes. Adds a little extra flavor. Plus there's less waste. Now I'm chopping up a bell pepper here. This is a yellow bell pepper, but you could use any color bell pepper. I've actually even used a jalapeno pepper in this soup, and it was quite delicious. I recommend it. Now I'm chopping up an onion. This is just a regular brown onion, but you could use any kind of onion here. If you have a fancy Maui onion or a red onion, use that. Now I'm chopping it up a little bit finer than the celery and the bell pepper, just because sometimes onion seems off-putting to some people. I happen to love onions, but I'm cutting them in tiny, tiny dice here. You could use just a half an onion if you prefer, or you could even leave the onion out if you wanted to, if you really are that much against onions. I want to show you I put those potatoes in water to keep them from browning. Now I've got 3 tablespoons of butter, and I added 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Now I'm adding in those fresh veggies we just chopped up. I'm going to stir those around a bit. Now we're adding a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of black pepper, and 2 teaspoons of dried thyme. Don't leave the thyme out. I'm telling you, it makes a difference. Now give that a stir and let that cook until those veggies are nice and softened. Could take about 5 minutes. Now I'm turning it down. I'm adding 1/3 of a cup of all-purpose flour. This is going to help thicken up that chowder. You want to stir that and cook it for about a minute, maybe 2. You're just trying to cook out that floury taste, but you want that thickening agent in that flour. Now we're adding 4 cups of vegetable broth. I'm going to stir it in slowly so there's no lumps from that flour. Now we're going to turn it back up so we can bring it up to a boil. While that's starting to boil, I'm going to chop up my potatoes. We want these in about a 1/4 inch dice. I've made them with bigger chunks before, and it seems odd because the corn and the bell pepper and the onions are cut smaller, but you could make them bigger chunks if you like, but these are about 1/4 inch dice. Once our broth starts boiling, we're going to add those potatoes in. Those need to cook for about 10 minutes. You want a nice rolling boil. So not only does that cook the potatoes and soften them up, but it also, the starch from the potatoes helps also thicken up the chowder. Now we're adding in 2 cups of half and half, but you could also use whole milk here. Now 1 full bag of corn. You could also use some fresh corn that you cut off of the cob. And look at that. Ooh, so delicious. I'm just going to say it. I make the best corn chowder. And now you can make it too. Thanks for watching. You take care now.